Okay, let's look at the next one. This is a long slide, right? But I want you to read the second one. He has given the woman the great task of childbearing, great task. Childbearing, breastfeeding, looking after her children. I'm not talking about duties. He gave her. He fashioned her. I'm an OB-GYN. I know what's inside the woman's abdomen. Why do you have uterus? Why do you have ovaries? Why do you have vagina? Because He created us so the woman can bear children. And because she is bearing children, then He has to give her the ability to go through pregnancy, go through delivery, and then raise them up. Read this. And these are not tasks which can be fulfilled without preparation, physically, psychologically, mentally. So it's only just that the man should be assigned a task of providing essential needs, protection required for the woman to fulfill her important duty. Did you see the point? It's not he is better or you are better. Oh, I am the mother and you didn't do much. Or I'm doing everything and you are. I'm doing everything, you're doing nothing. No, it's two. For example, I always say this to the team in Jannah Institute, and I'm sure you say it. I say to them, especially when I come back from like tours or this, and I was like, listen, I am the mouth. I am the face. I speak. But all the results, if it was not for all of you, it will never happen. All the clips you see, all the YouTubes, this is not me. This is team. Without the team, this is not going to happen. That's the same thing. So it is only fair that the last one, that the man be given the physical, mental, and psychological quality to enable him to fulfill that duty. The women are given psychologically, mentally prepared to be carrying a child, being a mother, compassionate. Now I know the question because I get it. What about if I am not a mother? You usually take care of people. This is us. This is our nature. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful and we are rewarded for it. And you are fashioned to take care of people in a different way. Nothing wrong with that. He will be. If he fulfill it, you will be. If you fulfill it, we will be rewarded. Remember, who's in charge? Who's in charge? Alhamdulillah. Next one, right? So seen in the human life, Allah maintained absolute justice. I really need you to fulfill this. I really need you to, not to swallow, to live this. Justice is really in the hereafter. I cannot get every justice. I should get it, but it's not always the case. Unfortunately. Subhanallah. Next one. Right. Qualities of the woman. Right? Tenderness. Now all of you are going to smile. Yes? Absolutely. We try to fake we are not, but we are. Tender, quick reaction, and instant or instinctive response to the need of the children. 3 a.m. in the morning, the child cries. Who jump out of the bed? Who jump out of the bed? I want to hear it from here. The mother. Again, there's always exceptions to the rule. I have seen exceptions to the rule. But I'm talking about in general. In general. The woman, even if you slept 5 minutes ago, what is the biggest problem when you are breastfeeding? What I get from all my patients. I'm not sleeping. Why do you think Allah said don't, if you cannot when you're breastfeeding or when you're pregnant, don't breastfeed. Don't fast. Why? That's natural. It's beautiful. Don't look down at yourself. It's beautiful. That's creation normally, even he, most of the time, misses the mother because it is the first thing he or she felt. We have skin to skin. When I deliver babies, we say skin to skin. You know what's a skin to skin? The baby comes out on the mother's belly. The first thing he felt or she felt is the mother's skin. Why we are putting this down? I have patients come to my office and say, I'm just a homemaker. I was like, just? Why you're saying just? Who said this is not the best career in the world? Right? So look at that. Okay? Now, not superficial qualities implanted in the woman, physical, mental, and psychological. So second house. Okay? Now coming to the roles, rights and obligations. I'm coming to his right upon you. And Sheikh Masmari, he will say, your right upon him. Remember, before I say anything, this is why I put this long introduction. Because we complement each other. When we have a company, can we have 2 CEOs in a company? Can we? Can we? Why not? He is good or he is good. Why not? Why there is no 2 captains in the plane? Why there is a pilot and a co-pilot? Why? Why not 2 pilots? I want to hear it. Somebody needs to make an executive decision. Agree? Agree? Yes? Anybody disagree here? Alhamdulillah. Next one. Before I'm going to take you to it, but I'm just really pumping you all. Right? Everything I'm going to say, I need you all to look at it as an act of worship. Definition of worship. Does anyone knows other than Sheikh Masmari, of course? Anybody knows what's the definition? Definition, not what it are. What are they? What is the definition of a worship? Are we in an act of worship? Yes? Why? I'm not praying. What? So, who said this is for Allah? Definition of act of worship. Memorize it. Your life will be very different. Wallahi, the moment I learned this 20 years ago, I start looking at everything differently. I'm going to say, no, it's not an act of worship. People are happy. People are not happy. Allah make them happy. And I don't feel bad when I don't get it, or I think I deserve it, but I don't get it because it's not an act of worship, then that's fine. Kullu, I'm going to say it in Arabic and translate. This is the definition of Ibn Taymiyyah. Kullu ma yuhibbuhu Allah wa yardah min al-aqwali wal-af'al al-zahira wal-batinah. So 6 points. Everything Allah loves and is pleased with. Meaning, what you are doing, He loves it, but the way you are doing it, He's pleased with. So that's 1. External and internal is not only outside, is inside. And you say and you do. Memorize this because I'm going to come now to the next ones, which some of you may find it difficult to swallow. Right? So act of worship is the husband rights. It's an act of worship. You're not doing it because you love him or because he's a good man. Then that's not for Allah. By the way, it will not be an act of worship. If you're doing it because he's a good man, he takes care of you, he's very nice, he helps, that's all good. But that's not for Allah. That's not an act of worship. So what is the husband rights? I'm going to ask the men first before I put it. Let's see what they know. Bismillah. Or ask the woman first. Which one? Ladies first? Bismillah. Okay. Nobody raised a hand. Sheikh Muhammad, this is serious. Huh? What is the husband right? Okay. Let me put it. Does the husband has a right? Who says yes? Show me hands. Oh. 60%. I know. The 40% they don't know, so I'm taking it this way. Does the husband has a right? Yes? Of course. Right. طيب. What is the rights of the husband? بالعربي وأنا أترجم, don't worry. She knows the hadith. Alhamdulillah. Next slide. Alhamdulillah. This is the first right of the husband. I can't change it, ladies. I looked and looked and looked. We need to have a CEO in the house. Unless he makes you the CEO, which I personally don't want to be, because I have enough on my plate. But this is how it is. In a company, when we make decisions, the last word is to whom? It's to the CEO. Even if you disagree. That's how it is. Because otherwise it's going to be chaos. But pay attention to the next word to it. Bil ma'roof. Meaning, he asks you to do things number one has to be pleasing to Allah. If it's a disobedience to Allah, the answer is no. And if it's going to end up in divorce, قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ. Allah decree whatever Allah decree. I have these, but again, there's a lot of cases I have seen. And I said this to the woman. She has 5 kids. I said, you need to leave. What he is asking you is haram. Period. No different opinion. So here you go. What he has to ask you bil ma'ruf meaning is not haram, and within your ability. Within your ability. But just I don't feel like it, my friends doesn't do it, that's not pleasing to Allah. And when you say yes, you are pleasing who? You're pleasing who? You're not saying it. Yeah, but why you're not saying it? You don't want to say it. No, a'udhu billah. I'm sure you do. This is how it's going to make you say yes in tough times. This is how it's going to make you say yes. I'm telling you, right? I mean, I lived enough to see. I talk to people. I don't say I counsel, but I have a lot of people reach out to me for that. And unless you say, if this is pleasing to Allah, I am going to do it. قَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. I'll do it. Some people say, but he doesn't deserve it. Please forgive me. I don't mean any of you. But that's what the woman says. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't do this to me. Right? Feelings, natural. I respond and I said, what does Allah want from me? Because without Allah, again, it is very difficult. So number one is the obedience. And I don't use this word with the younger generation because they feel it's very difficult, the word obedience, because in their mind it is associated with slavery. So I usually say, take care of her. You really need to talk to people to deliver the message. You don't want to bring negative, right? With all the feminism influence, Western influence, or the media influence, you have to say, once you decide to get married, you decided to get married, nobody forced you. Then you need to take care of him as he need to take care of you. But the way you take care of him is different than the way he takes care of you. Right? Do you all agree? Maybe this is one of the things we'll cover in the question and answers. What is the difference between men and women in their reaction? But not now, just because of the time, and I want Sheikh Muhammad to come. So the first one is, I will come to, please write every difficult question you have in your mind. Write it. Honestly, we need to talk about it. Until when are we going to cover this? Talk about it, agree. If I don't agree, let's see how we can reach a middle point. So this is number one. Number two, okay, right? Fulfilling the husband need. La haya fi din, right? There is many hadith about that, right? There's one hadith, I put it in here. It's an act of worship. Look at it as it's an act of worship. Why is that? Right? Now, look at the next one. هذا الحديث is one of the ones that I frequently asked about. Right? Do we have any? Yeah. Can we have if there is anybody less than 12? There is a lot of ice cream outside. No. May Allah forgive me for the lying. Right? 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 طيب. So here you are, and again, la haya fi din. And this is, by the way, questions was asked to Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. This is the beauty of our deen, did not leave anything, did not cover it. So the man asked for his right, as we say. Let me say something as a physician, as an OB-GYN. Woman is XX chromosome. You know that, all of you? Yes? And the man? XY. What is the difference between the X and the Y chromosome in this matter? The Y chromosome, the reason we have Y chromosome, or the man has Y chromosome, then we'll have all the man figure and changes and everything, but also the hormone testosterone, which is the highest hormone for the man. Like if I take a blood from a man, I take a blood from the woman, testosterone is triple, if not more. That's how Allah created. And the woman has more estrogen, progesterone, and a little bit of a testosterone. She has it, but little bit. What does testosterone do? Many things, but the number one is, again, the desire. So when the woman comes to me, especially during around menopause, one of the changes is that she loses this desire. The treatment is we give testosterone. Are we all clear? This is medicine and this is deen. So in general, and again, the desire in the man is way more than the desire in the woman. Well known because of the hormone. And the desire is like, I get hungry, you get hungry. When we are hungry, what do? We eat. That's the same thing. The man needs to fulfill it. And this is why this hadith is there. If it is not fulfilled in the halal, it will be fulfilled in the haram. And this is what is happening these days. Very sad. Very sad. And there's things I can't say, but again, as an OB-GYN, what I see in my office, I was like, Ya Allah, what happened to the Muslims? Let alone the non-Muslims. Why do you think HIV came out and all the sexually transmitted disease? So this, but also saying this, don't say no if you really can. Because sometimes the woman can, but she doesn't want. That's what it means. And also, and this is for you, so there is another hadith, maybe Sheikh Muhammad put it in his presentation, the meaning of is you cannot be treating her bad. And I think he even said physically abusing her, and in the night you come and ask for your right. Right? Exactly like your child. You just, may Allah protect the children, you just abuse the child physically, and then you tell him, go and get me water. Doesn't make sense. So when you look at this in the normal situation, and you can, but then for whatever the reason, not a major reason, you cannot. Because this is a protection from haram. Protection from haram. So we really have to know this. Why? As I just explained. Next slide please, is because what I explained to you is not about the way the people look at it. It's the protection of the society. Protection of society. Why do you think there is segregation? And when there is men and women together, there is rules. Lower your gaze. No, don't shake the hand. Why do you think all this? And Surah An-Nur, chapter the light, starts by one of the severest punishments in Islam, which is what happens to adultery, whether it is she or a he. So Allah put this first verse, put the punishment. And if I am a non-Muslim, wow, this is really something. But then you look throughout the whole chapter, how Allah protected the community from reaching there. Protection, lower your gaze, don't have a free intermingling, don't shake hands, don't get into the house without asking permission, so many things. But because we are losing these things, may Allah protect us what is happening to us, right? And then the next one is agreeing, meaning the man also have to be understanding, right? You're sick, you're tired, you have a long day, you're not really in the mood. He needs also to be understanding. It's a mutual agreement, but the last saying is to the man because of what I just explained. Is that clear? I hope so. Alhamdulillah. You're still listening, so that's good news. Okay, next one. Now, this one, what you read in the fiqh books. And I put it as I read it in the fiqh books, because when you read this, it's like, really? So I need to go and get milk. I'm going to say, can I go and get milk? This is an agreement from the beginning. That's when we said the legal agreement. Meaning, I am not going to be going out. He's in the house. He just came home. We need dinner. Oh, I'm going to go out and have coffee with my friends. Are you okay if he does that with you? So in general, and usually men will say, don't have to ask me. Of course you do. But if he said specifically, I love when I come home, I want you to be in the house, unless there is. Or on, let's say, Sunday, please keep it free. I like to spend it with the family, so don't go out. Agreement. It's not like this is in stones, but it's an agreement. That's why we said it's comfort. It's a legal agreement. You talk about all these things. But that's what you see in the fiqh books. Next one, right? Good manners. These are both sides, but since I am talking about good manners, you know what I've read? There is a very well-known in the Arab world, his like specialty is in marriage problems. He's like 10 million followers on social media, right? I know him personally, and I know his wife, subhanAllah. He's probably in his late 50s. And he said, there was a study came out recently and said, what is the number one? And this is to the sisters. The number one character in a woman the husband dislike. Let's ask. Does anyone? Huh? It's loud voice. It's a study. Loud voice, subhanAllah. It's a study, it's not like his. So when you say in a good manner, even when you want to make your point with adab, and this is, by the way, two sides. Can't call her names and you call him names, let alone in front of the children. What is this going to end? Good manners, meaning, as we all say this, choose your battles. When don't say anything, and when you say, that doesn't mean you're going to be weak, that doesn't mean you don't have rights, but good manners, that's the right. And Sheikh Muhammad will tell you this, it's also both sides, but again, I'm sharing what it is, right? Look how Sayyidah Aisha treated the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. There is no woman stronger than Sayyidah Aisha. You think Sayyidah Khadija, she was very strong, but when I read the story of Hadithatul Ifk, I don't think any woman in this day and age will act the way she acted. When she was in her lowest point, everybody did not defend her, and she was innocent. Ya Allah, what relationship she has with Allah. Yet look at this. This was her night. Read it. This is a hadith, right? It is, I think it's in Muslim. He came and he was sleeping next to her husband and a wife, and she said, look how she treated them. I love feeling you. Subhanallah. And then he looked at her and he said, will you allow me? I want to go and worship my Lord. She responded, yeah, although I love that you are next to me. That's your Rasul and the mother of the believers. That's how she treated. Even in the lowest point, when he said to her, and this is very painful for a woman, and I'm speaking as a woman, when he said, Ya Aish, if you have done it, say it. He said it to her. And he called her Aish. If you have done it, meaning what they are talking about is true. Can you imagine what that means? She did not respond. She said, Mom, answer him. Dad, Abu Bakr, radiyallahu anhu, answer him. No, nobody defended her. And she was accused in public and now inside her home. She didn't answer. She said, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say, but what's Aba Yusuf? She said, I didn't even remember his name. Meaning Sayyidina Yaqub, Sabrun Jameel. That's the mother of the believers. That should be my role model. Not whoever is outside there teaching me things that is not. Now, the next one, that's the dua I'm going to end up with. Because we really need this dua in family life. Arina al-haqqa haqqan. Is it really my right or it is not my right? Is it really my right or it is not right? So Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'a wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinaba. If I said anything correct, it's from Allah and Allah only. If I said anything that is not correct, it's from me, my ignorance, my shaitan, and the influence of my nafs on me. I seek refuge in Allah that I remind you of Him and then I forget Him. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi tasliman kathira.